Okay, guys, we are live. Dave's LFC Chat, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Hit the like, hit the share, give us a sub, show us your love. I'm going to put that in a t-shirt. And I have Ste Plunk in the house, Redmen TV, and of course, just be on Carnage with Grizz Khan as well. Absolute legend in the house. It's been a while, Ste. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Yes, it's been too long, but as ever, mate, thank you for having me on. I always enjoy our football chats, but
Yeah.
not don't happen often enough, mate. Because I enjoy your company and enjoy coming on your channel. So yeah, looking forward to having a bit of a chat about all things Reds. So looking forward to it. Yeah,
An LFC chinwag, as they say.
that's it.
LFC chinwag. Jack might be popping in, Jack Mack, Anfield Road TV. If he does, he can just pop seamlessly into the LFC sandwich that is Dave and Steve. But look, we're going to chat about the Reds, where we are, Jurgen Klopp, the job he's done to the team 2.0, LFC 2.0, Jurgen Klopp's team 2.0, whatever you want to call it. I just call it a new team. And the midfield, you know, where we are top of the league still. I'm still looking at it, and we haven't even hit top gear yet. We just haven't. We haven't, we
No.
just haven't, done anything near top clear or top gear. I mean, we even Clarkson would tell you that off top gear. But I mean, like, what's your take on Liverpool before we get into United and the game tomorrow night in Europa League, which is probably an under 6 match anyway? But in the summer, the rebuild, were you happy?
Yeah, I was surprised by the extent of it, to be honest with you, because I know that there was no feeling in the club that Henderson or Fabinho would leave. They knew they'd have to replace Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita, and had
Yeah,
plans to do that to strengthen the team to make players more readily available to help out. And then came the curveball that both Fabinho and Henderson left the club. In Henderson's case, because he was aware his role in the side would be much less intense, much less important than it had been in recent years. So the extent of it was the first thing that caught me out. I've got to say I've been really pleased with the recruitment so far. Szoboszlai looks $1 million, doesn't he? Gravenberch is a very technical footballer. You can see that still got a way to go to understand what we do and when we do it. But as soon as he's on the ball, he's looking to go past the man and he's looking forward, and I love that. McAllister's had a bit of a, through no fault of his own, he's played in a position he probably would tell you he doesn't want to play in, which is sort of the deep line midfielder's role. He did that at Brighton, but in a double pivot with Caicedo, so that made life a little bit easier for him because he had a very athletic young man alongside him that did a lot of the work with him. So I can't blame him for what appears to be a slow start at the club, but his numbers are
yeah.
fine, his interceptions, his line breaking passes, all of the stats are great. He just doesn't pass the eye test for everybody. But Dave, eye tests don't win you trophies.
No. No, what do you think of? I will ask you about him, but Wataru Endo, the Japanese captain.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's going to be probably more of a bit player than an actual starting 11, but I mean, Klopp talks about the team, the group. He doesn't really talk about the 11. He always talks about the 20 plus, the
Yeah.
team and the group. That's Klopp, really. But I like your man, Endo. I think there's a lot more to him than meets the eye. I think, as you can see, he's 2 goals, 2 beautiful goals. One was a header, one was an absolute ripper, the equaliser recently. They got us back into it. I like your man, Endo. I think there's a lot more there.
Yeah, I think once he understands the pace of the Premier League, I mean, let's be honest, he got bullied by Will Hughes at the weekend, which there are
Yeah.
better and more physical centre midfielders in the Premier League that would make his life difficult for him. But it's going to take time. He's not a guy that's going to come in and you're going to go, wow, look at him. But he's comfortable. He's done really well in the cup matches he's played. He likes to take the ball on the half turn, works really, really well in that regard. There is work to do with him. I think if we recruit, and I'm not sure we will recruit in January. I'm sure we'll get onto that. If we recruit, it will probably be his position that comes under fire. And obviously, as soon as Stefan Bajcetic is fit and able to play again, it will be his position that comes under fire. But that's why you pay £19 million for these guys, because there's no pressure from the powers that be to say you've got a £70 million centre midfielder that you're not playing. Why? He's a squad player. We accept he's a squad player. He's doing a great job. Fair play to him. Must be really hard. Different culture, different league, different pace, different style of play. What Liverpool do to what Stuttgart did couldn't be further apart. So a long and hard learning curve for Endo, but I would say he's on track, and some of the performances he put in have been really pleasing. At the weekend, he probably was the right man to come off at half time, because I think he found it hard going.
Yeah. No, look, you've got to make the calls. That's why Klopp gets the money. That's why he's the boss. He makes the calls. Sometimes he's got slagged over the years for not making those calls at halftime. He usually waits till about 60, 65 minutes. And he seems to be, the 5 sub rule helps as well with the big squad teams, with the quality benches. I think the 5 sub rule really helps, and it helps Liverpool. It's won us games. It's got us out of trouble, that five subs rule. Like, bringing on Elliott, bringing on Gravenberch, bringing on Diaz, this type of thing. Gravenberch, I like Gravenberch out of all of them. I know people might say, his age, his profile, his physique, the size of the lad, Dutch academy right up through, Ajax, then Bayern Munich, Dutch international. I think the ceiling on this guy is really high. Steve, I really do. I like Gravenberch out of all of them. I know it might sound weird. Slabasai and all that. I like Gravenberch.
I can totally see why, because like you say, he's good 6'1", 6'2". He moves the ball really well. What I like about him, Dave, is he gets the ball out of his feet, and if he can't beat you with a line breaking pass, he will run you, or he'll use skill to go past you. He went past Rodri like he wasn't even there.
Breaks the lines. Breaks the lines.
Yeah.
You don't see that much at Liverpool. No. You know?
And he's another one that needs to understand what his role encompasses. He's got a little bit of defensive elements about him as well, because he's played sort of a deeper role for Bayern Munich at times. I'm in agreement with you. I think ceiling-wise for Gravenberch, I don't know where his ceiling is. He seems to have everything. Yeah, in the attic, up there somewhere. In the attic.
That's where the ceiling is.
it has everything, doesn't it? He has everything you would want from the modern footballer. The stature, like you say, he's deceptively quick. He's very, very skillful. He draws you in and then destroys you with his next touch. He's got an eye for goal. And for the money we paid for him, he's an absolute steal. Absolutely scandalous. We'll have to send them some more money, because we'll end up feeling guilty for how much we paid for him, won't we?
We're going to have to, yeah. But I mean, I just can't believe it. Yeah, the money thing is different, but he was there. We've been talking. I did a video, I think, last year about Gravenberch, that he wasn't getting in at Bayern, didn't quite get on with the team there. You could see the quality. That Ajax team, now they broke up, that great Ajax team a few years ago. He was part of that. And most Dutch players, they're technical. Plus, they usually speak very good English. So there's no problems with communication and stuff like that, which is very important. Stuff like that, I just thought was an absolute snip. Same with Hakpo. The two of them, Gakpo, Hakpo, him, all the Dutch trio with Van Dijk as well. But I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. But I'm happy with it. As you say, I don't think much is going to happen in January. I think we have a lot of players coming back from injury. Thiago looked like he walked into accident the other day. He's probably not too far away. McAllister's injury it's one of these niggly injuries. I don't think he'll make United, but his eye will probably be on the Arsenal game Sunday week if you can have McAllister back. So I think Vujicic, Piasetic, who's young, still grown, they're not going to rush him. You've Robbo. Jota's a bit more of a problem injury, probably end of January. But there's a few players that come back. I can't see Liverpool dipping in unless it's the Matip thing, ACL. Apparently had a surgery, I think, today. It was a very good... the doctors were saying it went well and all that, but that's months out. That's months. An ACL,
6 months at least. And obviously, we've got 4 go-to straight away, which would be Van Dijk, Konate, the boy Quansah, who's come on leaps and bounds.
Wow.
And Joe Gomez. And we get Nat Phillips back in January, because his loan expires on the 7th of January, so we get him back. Now, I'm not sitting here making a case to say he should play. What he does is he deepens the pool of resources within the centre-back position, which means the club are going to look at it and go, we've got 5 centre-backs. There's talk of Reece Williams coming back because he's not getting any game time at Aberdeen. So potentially there could be 6 centre-backs at training. Now, 2 of those are break glass options, and we've already been there before with them. The other 4, if we're sensible and clever, we can rotate them and manage their minutes to make sure that we've got enough cover. So they won't buy anybody unless it's the right one. And I think they're after 2. There's 2 names that keep coming up, and one's Inchkapi, who plays for Bayer Leverkusen and has been in and out of their team. but he's used to playing in a back three on the left side of a back three. So I think that's quite interesting, because at times some fans have questioned Andy Robbo's position in the side because he's not comfortable as the third centre back when we push Trent into midfield. He has improved in that role, don't get me wrong, but I think this guy could be another option because he's quick, he reads the game really well, he's used to playing in a three. But Leverkusen are up to their eyeballs in the title challenge at the moment, so I don't see any movement there at all.
No.
I don't see Liverpool panicking. They never do they? And much to our fans' discontent, they want us to go out and spend hundreds of millions of pounds every transfer window. You can't do that. There's a certain profile of player for what we want to do, and unless that player becomes available, we won't sign somebody for the sake of signing somebody. And I have to say, I'm totally behind that.
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll only push the button if someone's coming in, like the few seasons ago when Spurs were coming in to put the money in. I think it was Diaz at the time, wasn't it? And we just pushed the button and came straight in for him because someone else was going to take him. Other than that, I can't see it. Unless there's hopefully not an injury or, to a key player. They might have to, jump in because we're going to have a lot of games to play. We're still in the Europa League. Finals in Dublin, by the way, Steve, as you do know. League Cup, we have a quarter-final against West Ham coming up, possible double semi. I mean, the league, top of the league, and FA Cup game. That's going to be a tough one, of course, away to Arsenal early January. But all the games ticking fast, loads of games to play. It's a huge, actually, it's a huge week, 2 weeks just before Grimbo. We've got the game tomorrow night, USG in Belgium. Then we've got the huge game, even though United are absolutely shite at the moment, but it's still United. You still got to go in nice and easy. Still take it easy, don't be overconfident. Want to beat them at Anfield. 57,000+, I think, is going to be there on Sunday.
Yeah.
We got the green light. And then I think it's West Ham Wednesday in the quarters, chance to get into a semi. And then you've Arsenal, another huge one, Sunday week. So huge 10 days incoming. So tomorrow night we look at first Europa League. We got it done and dusted. We won the group, which was so important because a lot of people didn't realise that if you finish second in that group, okay, you progress to the last 32. You actually don't go to the 16. You have to play a drop-down Champions League side. And it just gives you that extra breathing space. We won't be touching it till March.
No, it's the 7th of March, I think the game is.
Yeah.
That happens. Yeah, I think that's a really good point you make. Sensible to avoid that because it's, like you say, it's another fixture we don't want. It's against, you would think, slightly stronger opposition than we've been playing in the Europa League. A good chance to give some of the players who are on the fringes games. You would expect Harvey Elliott to start more games in the Europa League than you would in the Premier League at the moment. So that said, you're right. Straight into the 16, the group of 16, the last 16 knockout stages is exactly what we would have wanted. I was hoping we'd play Adrian up front tomorrow night, mate, because we really don't need to get any of these boys involved in football at all tomorrow. It's done. We can't be caught.
Because you know what happened, Jota? Way at Mjatland. Remember that? A few years ago, about 3 seasons ago, we played him or he came on, he got injured, and he was out for about 4 months, and he was on fire at that stage. But the likes of Salah, Alisson, Van Dijk, Trent didn't travel, and there was no chance they would have travelled. They weren't even on the plane, which was the right thing to do. So tomorrow night, you just go young. Like the Ben Doak, these lads, Kwanzaa, even though Kwanzaa's almost pushing like senior level at this stage, you know what I mean? But give these players a game. Keller will probably play in goal. He's had a bit of an up and down dip. He's been okay recently, but it doesn't really matter. I'd like to win. We all want to win. Of course, Liverpool want to win. You don't want any more injuries and all that. But it's really about just finishing this off and looking forward. It's all about Sunday, really, isn't it?
100%. I think if you could take a 1-0 defeat right now and not travel, you'd do it. I think that's the way the club look at it. And you're quite right with the bodies that have gone across. Cade Gordon's gone. Ben Doak's gone. All the youngsters have gone.
Chambers, Bradley, all these lads.
We won't recognise what we see. There's a couple of Kanate's gone, Diaz has gone. There's a couple of the bigger players.
Might be on the bench.
They might be on the bench. Diaz probably could do with 20 minutes because I want to see a little bit more from him.
I was hoping they play John Octoberg in goal. John Octoberg in goal.
Get your mate on. Yeah.
Have Keller on the bench. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it?
yeah, it would. So let's get that one done and let's move on to a game on Sunday, which technically, the way things are at the moment, every man and his dog have got Liverpool down as handsome winners of that.
That's
But
dangerous,
it's
I
still
think.
Manchester. It is.
Yeah.
It's Manchester United. Pride will make Manchester United try harder because it's Liverpool, because it's the nemesis, it's the age-old rival. The football heritage is these two football clubs, really, isn't it? In English football, if we turn up and we provide quality, Dave, we win that game and we win it well. We were talking about this today.
Yeah.
2-0 at half-time, Liverpool might make changes and just shut up shop with one eye on Arsenal, because better to go into Arsenal fresh. You get 3 points whether you win 8-0 or 2-0. You know what I'm saying? So if we have a professional performance,
2-0 is a dodgy scoreline too, though, isn't it? 2-0. They get an early goal, second half, they're back in at 2-1.
Yeah,
squeaky bum time and all that crap, you know.
Yeah, I get it. I just think they'll manage minutes and they'll manage expectations, because if they can't see a way we don't come away with 3 points against. So let's say it's 3-0 after an hour. They'll get all the big heads out. All the top players will come out, and they'll be replaced by their understudies in the squad. And that's the right way to go about it. They're not looking for 8, 9, 10 goals like our fans want them to, because in a footballing sense, we've bigger fish to fry. The Arsenal game is far more pivotal to what we want to achieve in the league than Manchester United, because Arsenal are in a perceived 3-horse race for the title with ourselves. So really important that we go into that game beating United, beating West Ham, the lads having a good night tomorrow night, and then we go into Arsenal, which is a chance to make a statement. Beating Manchester United is not making a statement. Not the Man United team at the moment. It's great, and you and I will enjoy it more than most.
There's no better feeling.
Exactly right. We remember the halcyon days when we used to do it. Then we remember the days when we couldn't do it. And now we remember the days when we're doing it again. So we will dine out on that for the foreseeable future. But the Arsenal game becomes the most important one of all. Yeah.
But as you say, you've got to get the 3 points against United to make the Arsenal game become important at the end of the day. We just need, do you know what it is? We just need continuity. We just need consistency. Get a good performance tomorrow night. Go into the United game feeling ready to rock. The new 57,000 plus.
Yeah.
The stand is almost ready. That'll be rocking and rolling. It should be rocking and rolling. I know there's a bit of an issue with the noise in Anfield in the last few games. I know a lot of friends that go to the game saying it's not quite at it. It's not like, say, a big Champions League night, type of thing. So I'm sure they'll be ready to rock and roll for a Sunday afternoon, a week before Christmas, next to 7,000 fans, United, 10 hags, another nail into his coffin. I take 1-0 now, Steve. You know what I mean?
I would too.
I'd take 1-0 now,
Yeah.
But,
totally with you on that. You're right. All the things you've just said are 100% spot on. The atmosphere's been a little bit off because we've not been playing particularly well, if we're being honest, Dave. We've not been fluent. Yeah. We've found a way to win football games, which, by the way, champions have to do that. So if you've got aspirations to win the Premier League, you have to win games like we won at the weekend. We've only really played one game for 90 minutes from start to finish.
Aston Villa, we were brilliant against.
Correct.
3-0.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's a really good side, and we made them look bang average. And that's got to be where we get to, because at the moment we're doing it the hard way. And if you think about 5 of the last 6 goals have come from midfield, is that sustainable for the remainder of the season? We need the front lads to start firing. We need the team to start firing.
I think Darwin is the key up front, to be fair. If Darwin can start scoring and going on a run of scoring, we know Mo will do it. We know Diaz will chip in. Jota, when he's back, he was scoring just before he got injured. But there is still that question mark on Darwin, a bit of consistency and stuff like that. And we know he's chaotic. We know he's awkward, and But if he could chip in, even a goal every 2 games, that type of, or even a goal every 3 games, that type of ratio, it really would make a difference, Steve.
Oh, totally. And, he's got all the raw attributes. What you can't teach people, Dave, is that you can't teach people to be goal scorers. You can't teach people to be prolific. What you and I have watched Ian Rush, we watched John Aldridge, who were prolific. Then we watched Robbie Fowler and Michael Owen, who were both finishers of a certain type. Then Fernando Torres came in and he was electric and totally unplayable. Then Luis Suarez. Núñez is different to those guys in that they genuinely had an eye for goal. They'd take any chance you gave them.
Yeah.
With him, he needs more chances to score goals. But his work rate, his love of the club and the things that he does mean that the fans have taken him to their heart, and that's why they're right behind him, and he gets a lot of vocal support on during the games. We do need to see all of this promise that we've been hanging on to for 18 months. We need to see Nunes explode, and that's the thing. Midfielder scoring goals at the moment, so the fans are not really putting him under the microscope. Just wanting a goal against Manchester United could do him the world of good for the next month. Is the way I'm looking at that.
Yeah. Oh, well, he scored 2 against Man Utd in the famous 7-0. Yeah. Remember the 2 headers he got? Yeah. But as you say, the main thing is to go into that game with confidence at Anfield. Our home form has been Champions League level. Our away form has been a bit, I said it last year, it's been like Championship away, Champions League at home. That was the level. Anfield is Anfield. We've brought that fortress thing back. We've scored a few late winners. We do like a late winner, of course. It's great. I wouldn't even mind a late winner on Sunday, but it's not good for the heart. As you say, I'd like more of a controlled game, more, controlling it, more possession, making them run, that type of thing, a few more chances and taking our chances. Something like, say, a comfortable 2 or 3-0. That'd be absolutely beautiful. But I think this could be a bit of a chaotic game, to be fair. A week before Christmas, United are probably just, I don't know what's in their head. I'm sure like they're knocked out of Europe, didn't even make the bloody Europa League. Ten Hag, is he hanging by a thread? What's your story with United? What do you think of United looking at them? Are they all over the shop? Are they at sea? Do they need a new manager, or will they stick or twist?
They're a mess, aren't they? They're an absolute mess. Absolutely all over the shop. You're quite right. The thing for me with them would be that they're about to go through a takeover with Jim Radcliffe coming in and taking 25% of the club and asking for some sane football matters. So this is me being a football man rather than a Liverpool man in answering this, because if they change the manager now, that's not great for that setup. So I don't see them pressing the button anytime soon. That football club is in a worse position than we were in that 30 years, in terms of, we thought we could win leagues and trophies doing cups of tea and 5-a-side football, and they went away and built a stadium with 75,000 seats, and they built a brand, and for 30 years they capitalised on that while we struggled to catch up. We have caught up. We're back where we belong. They have let themselves slip, and they're miles behind. Their owners are wrong, their stadium is wrong, their coaching setup and their manager is wrong.
Training grounds, they falling
exactly down. 100%. Their tactics are wrong, their squad is wrong. That there isn't a part of Manchester United at the moment that you would say that's good, apart from the fact they make so much money that their owners can just rip the dividends out there, not worry about the football inside of the club. For Liverpool fans, that's great, because it weakens them. That right now is the biggest job in world football, for anyone to go in there and try and turn that round without the backing of the club. Jurgen Klopp has a plan, and Liverpool Football Club is 100% behind that plan. And he calls the shots, and the infrastructure is centred around what he wants to do. You can't say the same at Manchester United. They've lost their identity. So until they recognise, they can't go around saying we're Manchester United anymore, because that doesn't count for anything. And they recognise the extent of the work they've got to do. You and I will be talking about Manchester United coming to Anfield for what we should think is a really easy game for some time. I don't see a quick resolution to Manchester United's problems, and I'm all for that, because life was tough when they were great and we weren't, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's hard to sit and watch.
Yeah,
but it's a mess. It's a mess, and we absolutely have to capitalise on it at the weekend. I don't see them changing their manager anytime soon. It's counterproductive
I
to
think
do
they'd
that.
be mad to. I think they'd be mad to, because you're not only changing the manager, changing our backroom staff. There's probably about 15 people with him to go as well when he goes. And the other thing is, as well, as we said,
who wants it?
The infrastructure.
Who wants the job?
Who wants the job? Who's available for the job is the question.
Yeah.
But the infrastructure, Old Trafford is in bits. It needs a whole revamp. The training ground, Carrington, is not like the new AXA training ground that we have. You know what I mean? And our stadium eventually be 61,000+, proper around the ground superstore. Our merchandise and stuff like that is caught up even today. Just got a message there today. Liverpool opened an LFC official store just about 3 miles up the road from me in Swords in Dublin. They have one in town, but they have to open the second one. Mighty Redmen was there today with Sammy Hippias. So, I mean, the brand has grown, you know, and I think we got with the commercial directors from United a few years ago. We brought him in at the time because United were 10, 15 years ahead of us at least in the commercial side, and even one or two of the other Premier League clubs were as well. And we took ages to catch up. Hicks and Gillette, the two cowboys, of course. But I mean, people slag the hell out of FSG. They're doing it diligently. Do I think they should spend a few more quid in the odd window? They've missed a few windows and stuff like that. We all say yes, absolutely. But where we are right now, top of the league, brilliant stadium, huge fan base. The brand just keeps bloody getting better and bigger and all that. Training ground, one of the best training grounds in the world at the moment. Wow, we're in a good place. And Jurgen Klopp there as well, still at the helm with another, 2.5 years, 2026 at least. You have to be happy right now. You have to be happy.
Brilliant, absolutely amazing. As Liverpool fans, you know, like I alluded to before, Dave, we saw the great, then we saw the terrible, then we saw the great again, then it dropped off for a season or two every now and then we come again. I wouldn't be surprised if Jurgen Klopp extends again, purely because if you look at the squad he's building, who would want to walk away from Dom Szoboszlai, from Ryan Gravenberch, from Alexis McAllister, Harvey Elliott, Luis Diaz, all those guys, Quantza,
even
those
Mo.
guys.
I mean, Mo, I have a feeling. I said a video about 2 months ago, and I said, look, exactly what you said. This 2.0 thing where Klopp has looked refreshed. He's joking. He's taking jokes. Last year he was irritated. He was angry in press conferences. If you noticed last year.
Yeah.
This year there's a change of a mindset psychologically. The way he's speaking to people, he's joking, he's messing, isn't he? I've noticed it. Like he's refreshed and ready to rock. I have a feeling now. I know he doesn't go back on his word too much, but as you say, I think he might even get it. We might get another 2 years out of him to 2028. And if he did that, I think Salah might follow him and just sign bang. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, Mo's in great shape, isn't he? And he might be 32.
We'll talk about Mo for a minute. We'll talk about Mo,
yeah. Yeah, mate, he's in great shape. He's a physical specimen. He's as fit as a flea. His availability is immense.
Ridiculous. 200 goals, 150 Premier League goals. As you say, I've seen group in the 70s, 80s watching Liverpool since the early 80s. Of course, Ian Rush. I mean, what's Ian Rush? 346 goals, something ridiculous like that. Yeah. I mean, unbelievable. But Salah, for the modern day, he's not even a striker. He's not an out-and-out striker like, say, Rush was, or even Robbie Fowler was. He's more on the wing. He's a winger. He's like a natural winger. I know he can play either side. He could probably even play down the middle. But for a winger like that and his assists in modern football, top.
He's in the when he's packed in his football, Dave.
He's in your Premier 11 for me. He's in your Premier 11.
I was about to say exactly that. I was about to say exactly that. You can't, you know, and he's in the top 5 or 6 Liverpool players of all time. Yeah, and he's up there with some big old names and some real legends of the football club, of which he is now one of those. But I don't think he gets the credit he deserves, and it might take until he's gone for us to realise just how good he is and what we miss. Yeah. A wonderful footballer with his numbers are absolutely insane. You know, it's like you say, 150 Premier League goals from the wing. You know, when you sit down in 10 years' time and do a Premier League 11, Mo Salah's in your 11. I 100% agree with you in that regard. I've only got 4 or 5 Liverpool players in history in front of him, and those are some names I can tell you. You know,
Stevie G, Kenny Dalglish, Stevie G, I'd say you'd have in there as well. I mean, who else do you have? Who's ahead of him then? Stevie G, Kenny.
I've got Graham Souness in there as well. And possibly John Barnes, and then you're looking at, in terms of what John Barnes was, not what he won, what he was as a player. Ridiculous, totally unplayable. And then you're putting Mo Salah up against sort of Ian Rush for top 5 and other players like that. That's where we're getting to with Mo Salah. So, you know, if we win another Premier League and another European Cup with him, he could be the next guy after Kenny Dalglish and Steven Gerrard. We genuinely could be sat here, Dave, going, he's number 3 in the list. Yeah. You know, Graham Souness, when he left Liverpool, broke my heart in '84 in the summer because I never saw it coming. What a footballer that was. The best captain we've ever had. the best leader we've ever had. You daren't not do your job when he was in the side. I know there's been some questionable decisions made around releases to media, but he's trying to solve those things, and the club are working with him to build those bridges. And I think that's a really, really important thing to do. But back to the question, mate. When we speak again in the future about Mo Salah, I'm sure Mo Salah will be in the top 4 or 5 Liverpool, maybe even in the top 3. And in modern day football, with all the things they have to deal with and the way that the game's changed and the eras have changed, we've run out of superlatives for the guy, and there's a reason for that, because he's just an absolute magician. For a guy that was labelled a one-season wonder, to be putting the numbers in he's putting in year after year, and the impact he's having on the young. You look at the way, Harvey Elliott speaks about him. Harvey Elliott looks at him like he loves him, genuinely like he loves him.
Do you know what Harvey Elliott, I know Klopp, Mo Salah treats him like the younger brother, because I see the interview, he's like his understudy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the new kid that comes into the class type of thing. You have the fella in the corner that takes him under his wing in the old-fashioned films, the black and white films, That's the type. Harvey Elliott now has been doing well recently as well. He's only a young lad. Klopp talking about him today. But look, of course, Mo Salah were spoiled rotten. And as in life, Steve, and as in everything in life, you only know how good something is when it walks out that door.
100%. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And we will.
Look, before we go, give us your 11. What do you think we're going to set up against United? Tomorrow night's a different game. It'll take care of itself, the young lads. But Sunday, the 11 and scoreline, what do you think?
So it'll be Alisson in goal, Trent and Tsimikas as your fullbacks. It will be, for me, it will be Konate and Van Dijk as your centre-backs.
Yeah.
Midfield will be Szoboszlai. It will be Curtis Jones, and it will be probably Ryan Gravenberch.
He might, Would he throw Endo in there, do you think? He might.
Without Bruno Fernandes, what Manchester United might try and do is thicken up that midfield and make it a bit more resilient.
Yeah.
And where you lose quality, you apply physicality and pressure. And the physicality and pressure are the things that Endo struggles with. So we might choose to play football around those guys rather than try and match them with our sleeves rolled up. And then up top, I think it will be, and there's a surprise in this, I think it will be Diaz, Gakpo and Salah.
Wow. Yeah. I'll stick with that. I'll take that, and hopefully a win for the Reds. I'm going to go 2-0, an early 2-0 for the Reds. Any type of win, it's about the points. Points mean prizes. I've been saying this for about 6 years. Ste Plunk, this has been brilliant. I should do this more often. I'm only getting back into it. I've had a few things. I'm going to get back into the lives. Ste Plunk, Redmen TV, absolute legend. Redmen TV are coming to Dublin on March the 25th, Monday, in the Academy. Can't wait for that. I'll be there for a few beer with the boys. And they're in Belfast, I think, on Sunday the 24th. So get your tickets. Tickets are available now. Redmen TV. Ste Plunk, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, mate. Always a pleasure. Thanks very much. Loved it.
Thanks to the chat. Stay safe. You never walk alone. Let's beat the Manx Sunday, baby. Let's go.